Hello guys, welcome to my channel. The less is more. So today we are discussing an important editorial from Indian Express. Okay, and it is about international relation and the recent visit of India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi to US. Okay, it is in this context we are going to discuss an editorial. Okay. So, let's start the editorial. What Delhi can give Washington? Okay, what US can learn from India? The US can draw from India's experience in healthcare, digitalization, multilateral engagement, and collaboration with the global South. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is in the US on a state visit. This is his third invitation to Washington DC since he became India's head of government. The first in 2015 to meet former President Barack Obama, the second in June 2017 to meet former President Donald Trump, and now to meet President Joe Biden. The visit is set against the backdrop of rapidly transforming world order where India needs to keep both its strategic independence and geopolitical balance. The US wooing of India over just the last 3 weeks has been startling. Biden sent his trusted hands, National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan, Secretary of State Anthony Blinken, and Defense Secretary Leon Austin to India to thrash out the details of Modi's trip. A $500 million military equipment and technology package that includes jet engines, critical minerals technology, and tech transfers are serious enticements for a developing country that is upgrading its defenses. Throw in the private family dinner at Biden's home along with the state dinner at the White House, and the lure is complete. Clearly, the US is working overtime to draw India away from Russia and make it a strong partner against China. However, PM Modi will surely notice that US India is holding hands with a very different US from the one he began his engagement with in 2014. A decade ago, the Washington Consensus successfully rode the global rodeo. Obama was tweeted around the world and was signing bills to close Guantanamo Bay, restrict Iran's nuclear weapons and ease sanctions, and promote healthcare for all. Osama bin Laden was killed, Gaddafi toppled, and Obama supported Syrian rebels. His successor Donald Trump called for review of NATO's report card and put trade and tech restrictions on Beijing. The job losses in the US from shifting manufacturing to China had begun to show on the US body politic, and the COVID pandemic made it worse. By the time Biden arrived in the White House in 2020, the world was in a dramatic churn. US actions accelerated it. The sudden botched withdrawal from Afghanistan put on display the US warning capacity. Brexit has reordered Europe, and Washington's active direction of the Ukraine-Russia crisis began reshaping it further with no end in sight. China has meanwhile been gaining in strength technologically, in defense and geopolitically. It is Russia's ally. European business is only risking but not separating from it. Beijing has taken on the new role of peacemaker in the Middle East, a region of the US regarded as its sphere of influence. The 2019 attack by Iran on Saudi oil fields showed Riyadh that Washington's defense deterrence was not good enough. By 2021, the US stopped importing Saudi crude and became an energy exporter itself. The groundwork for China's successful peacemaking with Tehran and Riyadh was laid. In 2014, economic sanctions were a reasonably effective tool used by the US against countries it did not like. In 2023, it has lost its sting. Sanctioning Russia and those countries that bought energy and food grains from it has only reduced US influence in the one global grouping that it now seeks to sway the global south. The global ruling has coincided with convulsions at home. The ideological divide has become a deep domestic rift, and a large number of Americans are cut off from the mainstream. The US is undergoing a homeless crisis, a healthcare crisis, an opioid overdose epidemic, and random gun violence. India has been India has mostly been a taker of US largesse, but it must offer the US something outside of geopolitical balance. New Delhi will be under pressure on Ukraine, but there are four immediate areas where India can extend its hand: healthcare, digitalization, multilateral engagement, and collaboration in the global south. All will require some self realization by the US that developing country experience can be useful for it as income inequality at home grows. In healthcare, Indian technology companies are embedded in the US hospital and health insurance system. They know where the fat is located and can help trim costs and minimize inefficiencies if Washington is willing to take on the powerful medical insurance lobby that has made healthcare prohibitive for ordinary Americans. Ditto with digitalization, especially the open network architecture of India's tech, called digital public infrastructure. This Indian innovation is the centerpiece of financial inclusion and India's offering for its ongoing G20 presidency. It lowers transaction costs substantially and can win the US government off an unhealthy dependency on its private technology companies. Prime Minister Modi must persuade Biden not to resist its widespread use. The two themes of healthcare and digitalization can be woven into the new unique global groupings where both the US and India are present, that is I2U2 and the Quad. India and UAE are considering joint health projects in Kenya and Uganda, which Israel and the US can join. It will create a successful record for India US collaboration in the global south, whose countries are no longer voiceless. As seen from the recent visit of African leaders to Kiev and Moscow, they seek to be a peacemaker so they can focus on their development. Lastly, the Indian diaspora has grown in importance over 10 years and is now represented at the top levels in the corporate and academic America. They are entering government departments, are in state houses and in Congress. They are not yet in the same league as the Committee of 100, an organization of Chinese Americans in business, academia and government which sought to advance Chinese engagement with America, but they can call similarly. An overseas visit by PM Modi is a reminder to his host country that Indians are a large electoral base with strong ties to their homeland. Biden will doubtlessly be counting on their votes. So, this was for today. Right now, the US hegemony that used to be a strong influencing matter in the world is decreasing. Okay, so and US is also facing many crises even in domestic area, right? So that's why he needs India to counter China and reduce India's dependency on Russia, right? This time the US has invited Mr. Modi on a state visit for technology transfer and many critical technology and minerals technology transfer and some jet engines. Okay, and in this paragraph we have seen that how US was influencer in the world before 2020, but after 2020, due to COVID pandemic and increased gun violence and high inequality in the American, so the US is undergoing a homelessness crisis even in the healthcare sector and insurance. So that's why it becomes essential for US to look inside, okay, and be strong with the help of India, right? And here India also can give in 4 immediate areas. The first is healthcare, digitalization, multilateral engagement and collaboration, right? In healthcare, Indian technology companies can embed in the US hospital and health insurance system. They know where the fat is located and where can help trim costs. Then in digitalization, the open network architecture of India stack called digital public infrastructure. This is an Indian innovation, is the centerpiece of financial inclusion and India's offering for its G20 presidency, digital public infrastructure. This is when the India can offer to US, because this lowers the transaction cost substantially, okay, and reduce the government unhealthy dependency on private technology companies, right? So here, if US is accept this offering, then it would go slightly from capitalism to socialism, slightly, not the completely, but slightly. So this is where India can offer, okay, and even Indian diaspora also increasing in the US. So for the upcoming elections also, the vote of Indian diaspora is important for Joe Biden. So he will also be counting on those votes, right? And US and India can join and collaborating with each other for Uganda and Kenya in the health sector, right? As India and UAE are doing it in collaboration in the global south, right? And India and US can also be a peacemaker for countries in the Africa, because when they focus on the development, right? So that is what for today. I hope you guys would be understanding, and please guys do comment in the comment section the summary of this whole editorial in your words, in just 25 words. I'm not saying do it in 50 or 100 words, in just 25 words. If you can do that, it would be very easy for you to comprehend any kind of information. You can be a quick learner as well, right? But its result will be not immediate but gradual. So you will have to be little bit patient and consistent, okay, then only you can get the actual result, okay. You can feel that, okay, that what you have gained through this just a small activity of commenting, not any feedback like good or bad, rather than do for yourself, not for me, do for yourself and summarize this whole topic, okay, in your keywords. So bye bye guys, till then, bye bye, signing off for the day.